Good morning, grade ones. Today is Monday, June 1st, 2020, and I am back to be your language teacher for today. So for phonics today, you will have your live lesson if you are phase 5. So only the phase 5 kids will be on Zoom at 11:20, and your teachers have already told you which students are supposed to be on. Well, at least they've definitely emailed your parents. So check to see if you are working on phase 5, then you will be on the live lesson at 11:20. If you are not phase 5, then you will not be in the live lesson at 11:20 today. So we also have the learning assistants in every class who are going to be calling some kids today to practice, to see how you're reading and to see how you're sounding out different words. So your teacher will also let you know who is being called on Zoom by the different learning assistants today. So Miss Ramika, Miss Anna, Miss Ritika, and Miss Samita will all be calling different kids today. So pay attention and make sure that you're logged onto Zoom if today is the day for your call. So that is all for phonics today. If you are loving practicing phonics, you can always log on to Phonics Play. You can pick a sound that maybe you're having trouble with, or maybe a new sound that you have never learned before, and you can play on Phonics Play if you would like to get a little bit more extra practice. So that is always there for you to use. Moving on to reading, today we are going to be working on and getting a little bit better at inferring and making predictions. So when we make a prediction, we think about what has already happened in the story and we predict what will come next. Okay, so we pay attention to the details that have happened and we make a serious guess. I know sometimes making predictions we can be a little bit silly, but try to make a serious guess of what you think will come next. This is what good readers do. Good readers are always making predictions. Same with me when I am reading my chapter books. As I'm reading, I'm thinking about what is going to happen next and I'm making predictions. And it's kind of fun to see if your predictions are correct or sometimes they're completely wrong. So good readers are always making predictions. Good readers are also always making inferences. So making inferences or inferring is the same thing. And when you do that, you take the information that you already know in the story to kind of make an educated guess. So for example, if I was reading a story and the story was describing a place and it was saying there is a very tall, shiny building that points up to the sky. There are white sandy beaches and a beautiful blue ocean. There are very tall buildings and Sheikh Zayed Road runs right through the city. Okay, I will take all of that information and I will infer that this setting is probably Dubai. So they have not said it is in Dubai, but by giving me all of those details, I can infer and make a guess that the setting is probably Dubai. So to practice this today, you are going to be a detective. So you're going to log on to this game, Detective's Notebook. Your teacher has sent it out to your parents this morning. And you're going to click the Start button. So you can pick your game length. You can pick if you want to do only 5 answers, but it suggests 15 for you. So you can choose if you want to be mild, go with 5, medium 15, or well, spicy goes on forever. So maybe you don't want to do spicy. Maybe you don't want to go on forever. So maybe spicy will be 20 today. And when you're ready to get started, once you've chosen how long you want your game to be, I'll go down just to 5 here today. You're going to click
Welcome
Start.
to the Detective's Notebook game.
So the game is going to start to talk to me here. So sorry if that's a little bit distracting. So once you are on this game, it just is telling you, welcome to the Detective's Notebook game. Today you're going to be a detective. You need to read the clues in the detective's notebook and figure out what happened by inferring or what is going to happen by predicting. Okay, so once you're ready, you're going to click
Read the clues
Click.
in Dad's new hat.
So it's going to read.
Sally's dad
It's going
brought
to read
home a
this out
silly
to
hat.
me. How can
He
I
put it on and asked
mute my
Sally
volume
how he
here?
looked.
Okay, there we go. Hopefully you can still hear me. So it will read it out to you, which is great because some of them might have trickier words. So it's going to read it out to you. I will read it out to you now here, and we'll do this first one together. So Dad's new hat. Sally's dad brought home a silly hat. He put it on and asked Sally how he looked. Sally laughed. Why did Sally laugh? So then you need to go to the detective's notebook and you need to read the answers. So why did Sally laugh? The hat looked funny on her dad, she was being tickled, or she remembered a joke. So I'm going to use my clever brain and think, okay, well, Sally's dad brought home a silly hat, so she was probably laughing because the hat looked funny. So once I figure out my answer, I'm going to click on the box and it will tell me if the case is closed. That means I am correct. When I'm ready to move on to the next question, the next detective challenge, I will press next and a new one will come up. So again, it will read it out to you, which I find is really, really helpful. And then you need to read through your answers and try and find what you think makes the most sense. So today you are practicing inferring and making predictions for reading today, because this is what good readers do all of the time. Moving on to writing today, you're going to work on identifying features of a procedural text. Okay, so we would like you today to begin by watching a video. So we will share this video with you. I won't play it for you now because there's no point in you listening to him and me at the same time. So you can watch this on your own, and this will tell you a little bit more about how to write a procedure. So after you listen to this video about how to write a procedure, you're going to log on to Seesaw, and under the activities, you will find this activity that says, identify the features of a procedural text. So these are the 7 things that you need to identify. So let's see if we can open it up here. You're going to click Add Response, okay, and you're going to select your name. I've just selected Test. Now, it's a little bit tricky because you don't have the list of what you need. So what I'm going to recommend, I'm going to click Delete and Start Over. So what I would recommend is that you look at this list of 7 things and you write them down. So you write down the words title, you will need bullet points, method, numbers, verbs, and pictures. So write all those things down on a separate piece of paper, and then as you're going through the activity, you will know what you need to find. So let's do the first 2 together. So we will do the title and you will need. So right now I'm writing those down so that I know exactly what I'm looking for on this procedural text. So I'm going to click on Add Response, and I'm going to find my name. Today my name is Test. This is the fake account that I've made so I can show you guys. So you can choose to click on the T and have your text box come up, or if you would like to, you can click on one of the markers at the bottom and you can write it in. I'm going to choose to click on the text box because I've been working on, I've been practicing typing. So I've listened to that video, they've told me everything about the different parts of a procedural text, and now I'm going to look for those. So the first thing I'm going to look for is the title. So I know that titles come at the beginning. Let's see if I can move this here. So I know that the title usually comes first, so I'm going to look at the top. So up here it says how to make a tuna sandwich. So I know that that is the title. So I'm going to move my text box beside it and I'm going to type in the word title because I know that that is the title. The next thing I'm looking for is you will need. So that's pretty easy because it's right there for me. It says you will need. So again, I will identify that by adding a text box or by adding a marker. So let's go back to see what else we will need to find. So we will also need to find bullet points. We've talked about bullet points before. Bullet points are always, when we are making a list, we always use bullet points. So you will see them before a list. It looks like a little bit, like a little dot before the item on the list. Method will be pretty straightforward. You will have to find numbers. Hopefully we all know what numbers are. I'm pretty sure we do. We will have to find verbs. Take a second and think, what is a verb? A verb is an action word, so you will have to find the verbs and you also have to find the pictures. So for the verbs, maybe you would just like to underline them. So maybe by choosing a marker, so I'll go back into it so you can see here. So I'm going to read through and I'm going to look for a verb. Here is a verb, open. Open is an action word, so you have to open something. So I'm just going to underline that so that it is easy to read still. But again, if you want to add the text box, of course you can do that as well. Okay, so when you are finished, please make sure that you save that to Seesaw because your teacher will log on and will see if you're able to find all of the features of a procedural text. So we're just getting started on procedural writing. This is kind of our first day to listen to a video about procedural writing and to look at a procedural text and start to get an idea of what it looks like and what is in a procedural text. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words today. And then moving on later this week, we will have a chance to write a procedural text together. So that is all for today. I know this is a long video. I've told you a lot of information. Good luck with all of your challenges, and I will see you again tomorrow.